Hey everybody, I'm just going to go into a little more detail on how exactly to fill out your forms. The last video kind of showed you where and to get your forms and a little bit of overview on how to submit your entries. But I'm going to go into just a little more detail on how to fill those forms out. First thing I'm going to do, we're here on the NARBC's home page. We're going to get our comment cards. Up here, there's these tabs. Here's the wool, skein, and garment tab. Click on that. For now, the only thing you really have to pay attention to on this page is the comment cards right here. The rules and everything else on this page are out of date, but the comment cards is what you're going to use. So click on that and print it front to back. Okay, so we're going to go into a little more detail on what you do once you print it out. And I'm going to use the example of 10 entries. I'm going to submit 5 wool entries and a couple of skeins and a garment. Altogether, there's going to be 10. Anyway, this exhibitor number up here, leave blank. That's going to be given as your entries are taken in by Vanessa. So you don't do anything with that top line. Right here is where it starts. The class number and the entry, is it 1 of 10, 2 of 10, and so on. And then whatever the class is, you're going to write it out. Excuse my paper shuffling. For example, if I have 5 spinner samples for giant Angora wool, I'm going to have C1. That's for giant and spinner sample. And then I'm going to write that out here, C1. And I'm going to put spinner sample so there's no confusion. And right here, see the little arrows up where it says wool, raw wool entries. You only complete this section. That's all you have to do for wool entries. And just FYI, for bat entries, this is all you have to fill out up here too. That's it. For skein and garments, you have to fill this out and more. So let's say we have a skein entry. We're going to fill out this. We're going to find out what class number it is and the class name, write it out. Scroll down here and start here. Fiber content, breeds or color, the weight of the yarn, whether it's lace, DK, worsted, etc., wraps per inch, yardage, fiber prep, techniques used, and what's the intended use. If it's big and bulky and maybe you want a big, bulky, nice cowl for it, or is it something thin? Is it art yarn? What's the end use you intend for that yarn? And that's where you stop if you're filling out for yarn entries or skein entries. Garments, you have just a little bit more to do. You fill all of this above plus these next 2 items for garment entries. Name of the pattern, if used, or if it's something you've just done in your head, write that out too. Construction techniques, knitted, crocheted. What are the techniques used when you made that garment? And that's it. The second page, leave blank. The judges are going to complete that when they actually judge your comment cards. That's it. That's it for the comment cards. Do 1 per entry. So if you're doing 10 entries, fill out 10 of those. Now we're going to go back home to the home page and see this little middle tab here. There we go. Here's the rules. You can print this out too. I think it's a total of 7 pages. The first page is the most important. It's all the wheres and whens, all the specifics. When do you do your check-in? When do you pick it up? Yep, all the nitty-gritties. Page 2, you have specific information. We're not going to dive into that today on the raw wool, I can say that 10 times. The wool rules, fleeces. Here we go in the classes, skeins. What are the rules on the skeins? Skein classes, garments, etc. Here we go. I'm just going to keep scrolling. And here we talk about the judging guidelines for wool, and the skeins, and the garments, and the bats. Woo, we're doing bats this year. Get your bat entries in. Okay, and the very last page, here's the entry form. 1 per person. I'm gonna, ooh, it gets a little fuzzy here, but not too bad. Print this out. This entry number, don't do anything with that. Start here with your name and location of show. And of course, circle one of these, whether it's open or youth. And okay to display. Yes, we want to show off our goodies to everybody. Our Angoras not only look pretty, they're gorgeous, but they make absolutely gorgeous items that we can wear and use. So then we start here, name, phone, email, address. Total items entered. If it's 10 entries, I'm going to stick with it. It's just a good example. I like whole numbers. Here we go. 10 is easy. 10 entries times $5 is $50. Write that out. This section here is for raw wool, whether it's spinner's sample or whole fleece. For details, look in the rules. Spinner samples, say I have 5. I'm just a giant gal. I'm going to pick on giant wool here. I have 5 spinner samples. I'm going to write the number 5 here. And as a side note, I'm going to have 5 comment cards filled out. 1 comment card per entry. But this entry form is 1 per person. Okay, clear as mud? I hope so. So, whole fleece, I have 1 of those. I'm going to put the number 1 here for C2, giant whole fleece. Bats, do I have any bats? Not today, but I might. Blended textured art, color scheme bat. Details are in the rules. Find out which category best fits which bat I'm entering, and put the number of entries on the line here. Skeins, same thing. On the line here, it's A, B, C, D, or E. 1, 2, or 3. Which category best fits the hand spun yarn that I'm entering? And maybe I have 1 of these, and 2 of these, and 1 of these. And over here on garment, same thing. Large wearable sweater, maybe I have 100% Angora. Wouldn't that be a snuggly sweater, 100% Angora? Oh my gosh, that'd be warm. Anyway, or a combo Angora and some other fiber. Babies, children's, I'm not going to go through all this, but you guys get the drift. Cottage, commercial spun yarn. This is something new we just added the last couple of years, actually. You have 2 choices here. Milled, using the Angora that's raised by the person entering the garment entry. Or maybe it's other Angora sourced yarn. The only requirement is it has to be at least 50% Angora. So maybe I bought some Angora yarn at the local yarn store down here, and it was simply absolutely gorgeous. And I made a nice shawl, so I'm going to put 1 here. Regardless of what other category it is cottage. It's not hand spun, so it goes in D. Everything else over here, these are all made with hand spun, with the exception of felted stuff. Yep. Oh, and woven stuff. Oh my gosh, we have large and small wearables. And if you ever have any questions on which category it fits in, email or contact Vanessa or I before convention, and we'll try to help iron out any questions. Well, that's all there is to it, you guys. There's 1 form, entry form per person, and the comment cards under the Woolskin and Garment tab on the home page. Right here, Woolskin and Garment comment cards. Here we go. 1 comment card per entry. And there's 3 comment cards per page. print it front to back. Don't do anything with the back page, just the front page. And depending on what kind of entry you're doing, depends on how much of this you fill out. Anyway, I hope that helps. Let's have fun with this and show off a lot of our entries, you guys. I want to see Vanessa working her little tail off, having fun with over 100 entries. Can we do that? Maybe we'll do a throwdown. Let's see how many entries we can submit and just overwhelm our wonderful judges and show off how much beautiful stuff we can do with our Angoras. Pretty cool. Thanks, guys.